This video is sponsored by RoleCosplay. Stay tuned to learn the video to find out how you can get your hands on a sweet costume of your choosing. Hey guys, the Firebird is here. My brother couldn't be here today because he has been watching Morbius for the 69th time just because it's that damn good. Anyways, if you haven't watched Morbius, you should probably do so. 9 billion people have seen it despite there only being 7 billion people in the world. That's a world record. Anyways, we're not talking about Morbius even though we really should. Instead, we're talking about the much less interesting Transformers Legacy Toyline. Now, I made a couple of videos on Legacy and my thoughts overall, and I think I let it be known quite clearly, especially on Twitter if you follow me there, that I think Legacy is very underwhelming. Now, TF Fanpage recently made a video on Legacy and his thoughts on it, and I for the most part agree with his statements. Like, it's a very mediocre start to this toyline. It has the potential to be good, but at the same time there's several problems with it. And in this video I want to talk about why exactly is Legacy bad to some people and not as good as it should be. I do plan to do a wasted potential video on Legacy because I have my own ideas as to how to build a Legacy toyline, and if you guys want to contribute to that idea, in my Discord server I'm running a small contest which, using this template right here, we come together and make our own Legacy toyline, and whoever comes up with the best toylines, or I see the ideas that I like the most, will get featured, and I'll use your idea for the Transformers Wasted Potential video I have planned in the future. Also, there's gonna be something extra to that. You're not just gonna, it's not just a shout out to your stuff if I like your ideas. I'm gonna be doing something very cool, very interesting. I don't want to spoil what it is yet, but you can let you guys know it's gonna be very cool. And if you've seen some of my previous non-Transformers videos, that should give you a good hint as to what I'm aiming to do. So, that's all I'm saying. I don't want to give it anymore. I don't want to spoil it. Let's jump into Legacy. Listen, I don't mean any hate to the people working on Legacy. They're clearly fans of Transformers, and you can see that they do pay homages to like different continuities, and they generally do try their best to, represent these characters from different factions. For example, recently released Jyaxus, he has the cables that was iconic from G2. I know some people were saying, oh, that's bad, why'd they do that? But honestly, I think that's what Legacy should be more about. Legacy, by its concept, is bringing characters from different continuities and having them all duke it out in this strange new world. Well, we don't have much of a story for Legacy yet. All we know is that characters are crossing over and meeting in this place. That's also one of the problems with Legacy. Legacy doesn't exactly have a set story in mind. We do know that there was originally going to be a Netflix series, covering Legacy. But unfortunately, it was declined by Netflix. Well, unfortunately, fortunately, depending on your point of view. Either way, Legacy is kind of like exists on this limbus that it doesn't have, a set continuity or storyline, at least at the moment. So people are for the most part free to create their own stories and reasons as to why are we seeing these characters cross over. Now, this is one of the problems with Legacy, and it's the main concept of the toyline itself. Different characters from different continuities crossing over. I think that's the main appeal. It's also the toyline's greatest weakness. What do I mean by this? Now, listen, I know there's people out there who really don't like the way some of these characters are being G1ified, and it has caused a huge divide between, the G1 fans who kind of get what they want with these characters for the most part looking very G1ish, and the non-G1 fans who, either grew up with the movies, which, don't have any representation in this toyline, either grew up with the Unicron trilogy and they look fine, or series like Transformers Prime, which have, more stylized designs and they get boxified to fit the G1 aesthetic. Now, to be fair, I don't mind this. Like, trust me, I don't like RC, the way she looks here. I don't like how Bulkhead looks like, even though a lot of people are saying that he looks good. I really don't like how Knockout looks. I think Knockout represents the best and the worst of this toyline, in which the vehicle looks fantastic and you can clearly tell that they really took inspiration from Transformers Prime, but at the same time, what made Transformers Prime Knockout special, what makes him stand out in his design, it's gone in favor of this boxy G1 look. And that's another problem, G1 fatigue. Now listen, I don't hate G1. I'm a movie fan for the most part, but I think I'm one of the more accepting movie fans that also likes G1. Back in the day when I was a kid, while the movies were a thing, they will show reruns of the original G1 cartoon in TV. So I will wake up really early just so I could catch some episodes of it. Sometimes I will fall asleep because I was 8, okay? I was very young and I didn't have the willpower to stay awake really early to just watch the cartoon. But the point is, I actually really do like G1. I was really happy with the War for Cybertron Toyline, like the representation of some of these G1 characters like Astro Train, Rise Optimus Prime, even though I know people kinda don't like him, and a few others. I don't mind G1 characters. When I see characters like Menasort and Stunticons, Blitzwing, even though I really don't like his vehicle modes, I like them, you know, I think they're fine, they look cool. And the G2 characters are pretty well represented here because they're basically G1 but not really. My problem begins as soon as we take our eyes off of the G1 continuity and we move on to other continuities. Transformers Prime is the one that's suffering the most from this G1ification of, you know, the legacy characters. Luckily, this is not the case for all of these characters. Tarantulas has been transferred into this toyline pretty well, and I will say J-Axis has also been transferred pretty well. So it's not all lost, but I can see why people will be upset that these characters are, you know, getting this kind of treatment. But you know what's not disappointing? That's right, everyone! This week's sponsor, RoleCosplays. Hey guys, IRL Fire here. I know you see my bee mask today because I won't need it anymore. Well, I'll still need it, but you know, for this occasion, I decided to not use it. And have gotten my own cosplay sent to me thanks to the nice folks at RoleCosplay. This one's based off the look from Genshin Impact, a character that kinda does look like my character, but not really. But then again, I like playing that game and I'm a huge weeb, so we're gonna be trying this on. So I got Squeaky to try on the outfit for me, and as you can see here, it's pretty easy to put together. All of the little accessories fit in nicely because they come with Velcro, which makes it really easy to attach together, like the Luke's belt, even the other belts that wrap around the leg. And the Luke's jacket, which I might add looks stunning. It's all incredibly well detailed with tons of attention put into the smallest designs, such as the vision and other clothes accessories that can be clipped in through various means. All very easy to use, very easy to put on, the only difficult part being my annoying brother who doesn't know how to stand still. But let's be real, that's nothing new. And now, I present to you, Squeaker. I may not have the real look in Genshin Impact, but at least I have this outfit. And this is just as good. Right, Squeaker? I gotta admit, this is the first time Squeaker looks good / decent. I might even be a little jealous. Check out RoleCosplays for countless different cosplay outfits, including wigs, accessories, and many others from so many different series. You can even have some orders be custom made for you specifically, or even give one as a gift for your friend who's really into anime, or any other fun entertainment genre that you can find here. This is the outfit that I will give to my girlfriend, if I had one! The shop is constantly updating and they're always expanding their arsenal. You can choose to receive items shipped from the US or the UK, so it will arrive faster depending on where you live. RoleCosplays always has some great discounts going on and offer free shipping on certain select items. But more importantly, remember to use my link below and use the promo code FIRE for 12% off your item of choice. Each purchase helps the channel, but of course this is completely up to you. Thank you to RoleCosplays for sponsoring this video, and now, back to the much less interesting video. Another factor that contributes to Legacy not being as good as it really should be is the choice of characters. Now, no offense to the people who like skits, but why skits? I don't like the boxy designs, me personally. I think I speak for Transformers Prime movie and, you know, non-G1 born/raised fans. Why skits? Why not IDW skits? This Alita one looks good, but that vehicle mode kinda looks like a clown car. Getting Titan Metroplex, it's okay, but it's a weird choice. Personally, I would have settled down for Tidal Wave, or another more relevant character. I mean, Metroplex is just a weird choice. I'm not saying it's bad because we still haven't seen like the in-hand images of the toy, but it's just a weird choice. There's so many weird choices that Legacy is doing in terms of its character selection. But I think the biggest thing that people really complain about is the amount of recolors. I mean, Lift Ticket, DK2 Guard, Night Prowler, Silver Streak. Oh wow, another Gabatron. Well, at least this one doesn't have the weathering effect that some people don't like, so that one's understandable. Oh look, it's Siege Samway with like minimal differences and not that many improvements. Hot Rod is basically a re-release from Kingdom. And Skywarp is just a recolor of Starscream without the null rays, which makes him even less cooler. There's so many weird choices that they're doing in terms of this toy line. It's very hard to justify a lot of these. But listen, I'll cut them some slack. Because of the way the world is at the moment, with all of this controversies and like issues going around, you can't really expect Hasbro to be on top of this and to like produce a new single mold for all of these characters and stuff like that. Like I can give them some slack when it comes to these, but like some of the recolors they chose are pretty weird. Like seriously, do we really need more Cheetor recolors? Listen, when you think of Legacy, a concept of all these characters from different continuities coming together, you probably think like, okay, I want a G1 character, I want a Prime character, then I want Armada, Energon, let's bring in some IDW characters here and there, and let's have them duke it out. Like, that premise alone in your head, what you're thinking right now, it's pretty cool. But the way they did it here for this toy line is just underwhelming. I do believe that one of the reasons why people really complain about the whole G1ification of, some of these classic characters is because we just, came from 3 toy lines straight of G1 representation. Now, I'm not saying that G1 designs are bad or anything. Personally, I like G1 designs, but I also like it when, they put some variety into the designs, like Cyrus. Cyrus, I think, is the perfect example of this. This is clearly, G1 inspired, but it's doing its own thing. If we saw more of that in this toy line, it's not just straight up G1, I wouldn't be complaining as much, and I don't think people would as much. But the fact that, we just had 3 toy lines straight of G1 content might rub people the wrong way. Now, that's not saying that I don't want to see any G1 characters on this toy line. I think characters like Blitzwing, maybe Kickback, and of course the Stunticons are, an ideal choice, are an appropriate choice for this. But then the amount of G1 characters here kind of like outweighs everything else. And according to the toy listings, the upcoming characters are not that much different. The upcoming characters that haven't been revealed yet will be Soundwave for the core class, Energon Monster for core class. For the Lux class, of course, we're gonna get Breakdown, which is another G1 character. An Energon Monster, which we don't know what that is yet, at least I don't know. We're getting Crankcase, which supposedly will be another G1 character. Point Blank, another probably G2 character, I think. For Voyager, we'll get Armada Starscream, which, yeah, that's good, something that's not G1. Beast Wars Inferno, again, something else that's not G1. And then Leader Class, Dragon Megatron, something else that's also not, G1 in nature. Now, it is possible that, as time goes on, we'll get some Generation Selects, introducing some other characters that are not exactly G1. So far for Generation Selects, Black Zarak, I think, is like an appropriate character to be added into the, Legacy Toyline. I know it's still continuing from Kingdom, so this one's kind of cheating. But characters like Victory Savior, being a HasLab exclusive, it's one of those characters that I feel like should be on the base roster. But, I mean, considering all that's going on with that figure, like all the, parts to make and the complexity of it, I'm fine with it being HasLab exclusive. But the reason why I wanted to do this video is because a while ago I was talking to one of my friends who also likes Transformers from real life. And as we were talking, we were kind of complaining about, oh my god, look what they did with Blitzwing. Oh look, so many G1 characters. Why does RC look like a dude? I would have not done this character. I will replace Skids with someone, let's say, with animated prow, someone more interesting. And then we kind of went on from there. We were basically designing our own tone, and we were like, oh, imagine how cool it would be if we see movie characters being here. We don't need a lot of them because we have Studio Series, but we could use a few of them here. How cool it would be to have some Transformers Cybertron representation and have a few Cybertron characters here, or have animated characters here, or have some Robots in Disguise characters here. Yeah, let's just throw an Energon character there for representation. And oh my god, we gotta have my boy Locknot. And And then it dawned on me, I have more fun thinking about what characters I will add to this toyline than the actual characters we're getting for this toyline. And I think that's the main gist of it. With Legacy, a concept like this, you get all these wild ideas, you have all of these universes to play around and bring around, but when Legacy Toyline it's, doing those things, it's meeting me halfway there. Like, it's like, okay, you brought Bulkhead and RC, like 2 of my favorite characters. You're gonna make them look like the show, right? Not really. Okay, you brought Laser Optimus Prime and Blitzwing. Well, they're probably not the best of figures, they're pretty cool. You're gonna give me other figures that are also pretty cool, right? Not really. Here, have a re-release of Gabatron. Hey, this is called Legacy, right? So, are we gonna have some, some Unicron Trilogy characters? Yeah, you see, here, have only 2. Oh, okay, are we gonna get more? No, more G1 characters. Here, have Blaster. Again, I'm not trying to start a war over G1, because I genuinely do like G1. But this is Legacy. Listen, we might not ever revisit these universe ever again, okay? Hasbro has this tendency to stick to mostly G1. Like, listen, this is the sign of Optimus. These characters are not going away anytime soon. They're getting representation, they're getting a lot of the upcoming toys, they're getting inspiration from how these guys look like. Like, we are not gonna leave the G1 designs, anytime soon. But when it comes to Prime, the Unicron Trilogy, the IDW comics, even some of the Japanese shows, like, those things only get revisited every once in a while. Like, with a toyline like Legacy, I expect, to, like, see the actual legacy of Transformers. Because, like it or not, after G1, Beast Wars came in to save the day, because the Transformers Prime was pretty much about to die. Robots in Disguise reintroduced, the concept of transforming robots, from robots to vehicles once again. The Unicron Trilogy kept the franchise alive and thriving for a bit of time. The movies came, and like it or not, while they were pretty bad, they really skyrocketed the franchise into, one of Hasbro's flagship titles. Transformers Animated was a beloved reinterpretation of the franchise. The IDW comics, I know they get some things right and wrong sometimes, but a lot of the concepts that were used for those comics got reintroduced later into the franchise and are now staples of the franchise. The same thing applies for dumpster fires like Beast Machines, the Prime Wars Trilogy, and even G2, which, fine, it wasn't that bad, but it was still not good. These are the things when I think about the legacy of Transformers, and things that kind of paved the way for where we are right now, and I think they deserve to be interpreted here. The selection I'm seeing kind of gives me G1 favoritism vibes. I don't like that we're getting so many recolors, but then again, I can understand why they need to do it. Having obscure characters here being given new life like iguanas, and actually shooting Star Saber into the spotlight are really good decisions in my opinion. I really do like that and I approve of it. But my main problem is that whenever I see Legacy, I don't think about all of these different continuities that help build up, Transformers into what it is today. I mostly think of it as it's G1 with some extra variety thrown in there. And I think that's the thing that is upsetting a lot of people, which is the toyline's greatest strength and greatest weakness. You can't exactly please everyone. The Transformers fandom is pretty divided. Like, there's people who started with G1, there's people who started with Beast Wars, there's people who started with the movies, there's people who started with the Energon Trilogy. Hell, there's even people that started with the terrible Combiner Wars Trilogy. So, like it or not, chances are that not everyone's favorite is gonna make it into this toyline. By its very nature, I think Transformers Legacy is not gonna please everyone, and by its nature, I think it's gonna be a very divisive toyline. But even then, even with that taking that into account, what they did so far hasn't been bad, it just could have been better. But when I talk to some of the people in my Discord server, like, what characters would you add? Like, a lot of people have a lot of great ideas, and a lot of people got really excited just thinking about the possibilities. Which leads me to this. I actually made this template for the contest that we're doing on my Discord server. I put a decent amount of characters here that you can, like, fill in the boxes. Yeah, I know, maybe some of these choices are a bit excessive. Maybe 14 Deluxes is, like, a bit out of, Hasbro's price range. But, like, I try to keep it at least at the same volume that Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom had. And also, it's not like this is gonna happen anytime soon, so, a little bit of suspension of disbelief can happen. So, you can apply a bit of suspension of disbelief here. I made 3 templates, first we got like the basic Toyline, then we got core class, the 2-pack exclusives that will probably go on Amazon, like in Everrise, the Gen Selects, and the combiner of the wave, along with some exclusives that the Hasbro Pulse website could have. Just think of the possibilities. What if instead of Rodimus being our commander for Kingdom, he was our commander for Legacy? Think about how much cooler that would be. Legacy actually honoring the past and in a way kind of moving on from it. We came so far from G1, Rodimus kind of represents the future, the passing of the torch. Him being commander class for Legacy makes more sense than him being commander for Kingdom. Oh, and let's give it to Star Saver just for lols. Let's have some more minor representation and have Tidal Wave be our titan of the Toyline. For leader classes, let's have some more variety in there. Let's add Tigerhawk from Beast Wars, why not Tarn from IDW, and the Last Night Megatron. For Bojacker, let's have my boy Lognat be in there. Dark of the Moon Ironhide, well, Studio Series hasn't done it yet, let's do it right now. The Lux class, oh, let's gonna have some fun with this. Let's introduce Barricade from the movies, very popular character. Let's have some representation from some of the, lesser or less popular Transformers series. Let's have Jetstorm from Beast Machines, everyone loves him. Energon / Armada Demolisher was actually pretty good, let's have him here. Let's have some Cybertron representation and actually have a character from there. Robots in Disguise Skyride, people love that guy, let's put him here. Steeljet from Robots in Disguise, and Robots in Disguise wasn't anyone's favorite exactly, but hey, it's part of the legacy of the franchise, it deserves some representation. IDW is losing the license this year. How about as a way of saying thank you that we put Nynx in there, and also we make a Gen Selects Bad Optimus Primal variation, to acknowledge the past and all. Shattered Glass is getting a lot of movement, let's have some Shattered Glass characters as part of the Legacy Toyline. Nobody likes Combiner Wars? Okay, we're still getting some representation. Let's retool the Lux Legacy Windblade and make her into Maxima, just to have some representation from that series. People are a bit sick of G1 representation, no problem. Instead of Menacer, let's do follow Cybertron Bruticus, a character whose last toy ever wasn't exactly the best, and let's get him right this time. And also let's make a Robots in Disguise variant of it, to please the Robots in Disguise fans. See, there's so much potential here, like your imagination just runs wild thinking of all these possibilities and characters, and that's not even thinking about the story potential. I think Legacy has some great potential for a setting. Imagine a setting where Rodimus is forced to take command of a group of Autobots from different continuities. How will other characters react? Bumblebee and RC will probably be reluctant to trust Rodimus, because for all their lives they only known one Prime. For them, Optimus Prime is the Prime, there's no one like him, so they might be a bit more critical of Rodimus when he fails. How will some of the Decepticons feel about following Megatron? Someone who has failed in almost every continuity and has gotten his ass kicked in the movie several times. How will Tarn feel about working with someone like him after he sees multiple variants of Megatron who have turned a new leaf? Maybe he might think that this Megatron might do the same and that could cause some conflict. How will Dark of the Moon Ironhide feel about still helping the Autobots fight the war, considering that some of the characters here come from later in the movies who know what happened after the events of Dark of the Moon and the humans turning on the Autobots? Maybe that might make Ironhide have a crisis of faith, in which he starts questioning whether Optimus Prime had the right idea of helping the Autobots or not, or helping the humans or not. Would Lognat be interested in following a Megatron, or is the animated Megatron his only Megatron? And will the same thing apply to Beast Wars Inferno? We could even pull a No Way Home and have a lot of these characters be brought from points in time where they were meant to die. What if Shatter finds out that if she were to go back to her universe, she's gonna immediately get killed by Bumblebee? Maybe she wouldn't want to go back, maybe she wants to stay on this world and prevent others from sending her back. This could also apply to other characters like Demolisher, Tarantulas, Jetstorm, who might have some interesting banter with Silverbolt considering that they both have the same spark. When I think of the toy line, and all of these, different characters and the story potential, I'm just filled with so much excitement and oh my god, major fanboying moment. And I think that's more fun than what I'm actually seeing with Legacy at the moment. Well, from technical standpoint, these toys might be pretty impressive for the most part and have a lot of good features. Without a story, there's not much to hook me in it, Maybe the story is what we make of it. Maybe the true legacy is, the potential that we lost along the way. But yeah, guys, those are actually my thoughts on the Legacy toy line. I have a lot of problems and a lot of positive things to say about it. But definitely my main problems are there's not enough representation from like all of these different, you know, franchises, timelines, storylines, or whatever. There's too much G1 representation. We just came clean off a like 3 G1 inspired storylines, like, and we do know that they're not gonna get rid of G1 anytime soon. So this was the perfect chance to not do G1, give us anything else, and then reintroduce G1 or whatever new, you know, storylines Hasbro wants to do, like with probably Earthspark or whatever's coming in the future. Legacy by itself is not bad. It's just a little disappointing. But I want to hear from you guys, and I want to see what you will do with the Legacy Toyline. Here's the template for it. I'm gonna put images of this in my Discord for you guys to, you know, grab and use and like edit and put your characters. Try to keep it realistic. Like, I think it's a bit excessive to, you know, think that, oh, Hasbro's gonna make a new mold for all of the deluxe class toys. No, like, feel free to reuse some stuff from Kingdom, or even feel free to reuse some stuff from the War for Cybertron Toyline, or even just do recolors of characters, or redecos in the case of Blaster. Like, let's try to keep this with a degree of realism, while, you know, it will be fun to have all of these characters from all these different, you know, universes be on Legacy. Let's try and keep it a bit realistic, okay? I do plan to make a wasted potential on Legacy as the toyline moves forward, because, you know, as it goes on, because right now we're like at the halfway point of Legacy. When the time comes, I'll definitely make a Legacy wasted potential video, and I'll also give you guys my interpretation as to how I will do Legacy, along with a little surprise I want to add to it, which is gonna be really cool. So yeah, if you guys want to enter the contest, Discord server, stuff there for you guys to, you know, edit and give me your choices. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about Legacy. Are you like upset by it? Are you satisfied with it? I know a lot of people are pretty okay with some of the toys we've been getting, and yeah, in terms of the toys, I think it's kind of fine. It's just like not exactly what people were expecting, and I think that's the main problem with the toy line. As always, that's just my opinion, and now I of course want to hear yours. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about all of this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Anyways guys, before we go, shout out to our amazing Patreons: Xavier the God, Stitch Productions, Scrub Lordo, Allspark Studio, Epic Nin, Lord Racer, Transformers Gears and Brawn, that's quite a long name, Optination Reviews, Joshua, and even bigger shout out to our even bigger Patreons, Jordan the Great and XNori23, who donate a amount of money. By donating to my Patreon, you get quite a few rewards. You get a shout out to you and your YouTube channels in the description down below. You get to collab with me in some of my videos if you so choose to. You can request some artwork from me, request your own videos, get exclusive early access to some of my videos and some other projects that I have in the background which I haven't shown yet. And I'm constantly updating the Patreon with brand new rewards and other stuff that I plan to do in the future. But keep in mind that this is entirely optional, because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Thank you guys so much for donating, it's so much appreciated, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys!